Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Good morning, Kevin. How is everything in South Carolina? I hope everything is well. I am dealing with allergies. I got a giant like sinus pressure right now. I took Sudafed this morning, but it ain't working yet. Not completely. Ivory Lady, good morning from Michigan. Good morning to you. I hope everything in Michigan is going well. Ivory Lady and hello and Francie from Michigan. Sorry. Kind of read the two of them together, didn't I? Mucinex. I have not tried Mucinex yet. I live in an area, Kevin, that hates people. There's a reason why nothing is around us but desert. But when the wind blows, it blows up all of the. Mainly, it's Russian olive trees. And no, you don't get any olives from it. It's called a Russian olive tree. But when it blows up the pollen and stuff from that stuff, I mean, it just so many people here. It just knocks you on your ass. But I have not tried Mucinex. Wish I had something like that, Mucinex or something like that, also to try. But it's just like right here, it feels like a 10-pound weight on my face. Good stuff. Good morning, Gayla. All the way from California. Gayla is in California. Yeah, but about another minute here and we'll get this going. All the questions today on Blunders, Balderdash, and viewer questions, all the questions today are about me and my wife and my family. These are just random questions that have been asked. And I'd say a good majority of them come from just YouTube this week. I mean, besides the fact that I feel like I have a 10-pound weight pressing on the middle of my face, I'm feeling pretty good otherwise. I could use no more wind. That'd be nice. But yeah, you can't have everything, can you? So go ahead and grab your cup of coffee or tea or fifth of whiskey or whatever it is you're drinking this morning, and let's get this party started. Oh, and little notice: there is no fact or fake news story today. No fact or fake news story. Blunders, balderdash, and questions. Welcome to the show where I boldly tackle all my past blunders, bizarre questions, and internet chaos. Because why keep my dignity? when I can turn it into content. I'll be diving into the wildest stuff I've been asked, some serious, some strange, and some that made me wonder if the internet is okay. I wonder that every single day. These gems have come from YouTube comments, live streams, Facebook, and X, formerly known as Twitter, currently known as Confusing, and even a few brave souls who have emailed me like it's 2007. Ladies and gentlemen, please take a moment and wish Gemma from Gemma's Grace Journey Grace a happy birthday. Gemma, if she's here, I haven't seen her yet, but today Gemma turns 37 years old today. And the link there that is in blue is to go check out Gemma's channel, a YouTube channel, if you haven't already done so. But in the comments section here, if you would please take a moment and wish Gemma a happy birthday, I would deeply appreciate that. And Francie says, "Will Alka-Seltzer for colds helps allergies?" Yeah, but it tastes like crap. even the lemon lime one, ugh. I mean, it's nice and bubbly, but yeah. My wife told me to take some baking soda and lime juice. I was like, no, oh, I'll just do with this and suffer through it. But anyways, wish Gemma a happy birthday, everyone. Short and Eyes, good morning and welcome to this morning live stream. If it's your birthday as well, here is a cake for you. Everyone who is out there celebrating a birthday, happy birthday to you. And now for something completely different from Monty Python. The first question, again, all of today's questions are from YouTube. Well, I'd say all of them, but maybe 4. But they're all about me and my wife. The first one today is, how many children do you and your wife have together or with other people? Also, do they live with you or near to you? They're written, these are exactly how the questions are asked. So if there are grammatical errors, spelling errors, that's how they were written. All right, so please don't fault me for how somebody else asks a question. How many children do we have? We have 2 children. We have a 26-year-old daughter and we have a 9-year-old son. That's the only children either of us have. But thank you for the question. Next one. You mentioned on the live stream on 4/9/18. Like, I'm going to remember that. You went to college. Did you request a refund yet? Because you sound like a moron. No. I have never requested a refund. I don't sound like a moron. At least I don't think I do. But if I do, comment down below if you think I sound like a moron. Maybe I'm not the most articulate individual, but I know I got my money's worth out of my college tuition. Next one. What is the plan to spark new interest in programming if the views and interest are gone? I do believe that this is in reference to the Saturday morning, the show you're currently watching right now. What are the plans? I don't have any plans. I'm not going to stop, doing a Saturday morning show. Maybe it won't be at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, at 11 o'clock Eastern. Maybe it will be, at 10 Pacific Standard Time, and then therefore 3 hours later on the Eastern time zone. But I don't have any plans set in stone right now to revitalize it. Yes, it is true. The viewership and the engagement and everything on the Saturday morning show that you're watching right now This is the third iteration of the Saturday morning show that I have tried. I did 261 episodes of Coffee Brew Saturday morning show before I said, it's just not there. The viewership, the interactions, the length of people watching just wasn't there. So I'm trying this now. So I mean, it's way too early to make a determination if the viewership and the engagement is going to be there. So no concrete plans though. Next. Recently, I said, what do you get when you combine a joke with a rhetorical question? Said that 2 weeks ago. And quite a few people commented, I don't get it. What do you get when you combine a joke with a rhetorical question? Think about it for a minute. Please pause the live stream if you're watching afterwards, or just sit in silence and put on your thinking cap. What do you get? Next. Have you ever met a killer professionally or on the streets of life? Yes, I have met more than I care to remember. First off, I knew the guy who killed my one of my best friends. He wanted to hide in my house, so I know him. I knew him before he did it, and unfortunately, I'm tied to that asshole for the rest of our lives because he married another one of my wife's friends. So, yeah. If I met other killers, yes, definitely. In doing research, investigations into the prison systems, I've communicated with quite a few people who are doing life, couple on death row. But yeah, to answer your question, I definitely have. Next one. Any other members of your family have YouTube channels or TikToks we would know? Well, I'll put it this way. Yes, you probably know members of my family who are, I wouldn't say that they're more successful than me, but they definitely have a lot of eyes on them, people watching them who are members of my family. When it comes to TikTok, yeah, a couple of them are, TikTok, Instagram famous. I have a nephew in particular who is, he's pretty famous, popular on different social media platforms, but I'm not going to give you their names. But thank you anyways for the question. Next one. What is your real experience in being a crime reporter? Former work, victim, education, what? Yes to all of the above. Yes. I have been a victim of crime. I mean, I don't know anybody that I can think of that hasn't been a victim of a crime. Education, yes. I went to college and I got a degree in communications. Work, yes, definitely. I mean, I'm doing it right now. This is what I do. This is the only thing that I do. I mean, not just this live stream, but I mean, this is what I do as in this channel and the content of this channel. So yeah, all the above. Thank you though. Next one. Why hasn't your son ever been on the podcast? Is he even real? What was the entire show just a clout chase? Was the entire show just a clout chase? No. One, yes, my son is real. And they're talking about the taco podcast that me and my wife do together. Why has he never been on it? Simple answer to that question. We will never put him on the internet. God knows he does it enough himself already. He's a much better videographer and editor than I will ever be, because that's all he knows, and that's his way of communicating with the world. Why has he never been on the Taco podcast? Because we don't wish to exploit him for views and for monetary gains, like so many other channels out there. Someday, when he's older, and if he decides then he wants to be on the Taco podcast, yeah, we'll definitely consider it then. I'm not going to say it's going to be a yes, but we will consider it if he's older and when he can make that decision. I absolutely cannot stand people who put their children out there and exploit them for the views, because you never know who's on the other side of that camera, who's on the internet watching, who's taking still photos of your child. And it's sick to even have to think about and know that that exists. And it's more disgusting, that there's so many families out there. That's all they do. They want to, show their daily lives. They want to show where their children, are going, where they go to school, what they do in their off time. They exploit them for the views and for the money. And I know quite a few people out there, and I've met them, who have channels where they do that. And I tell them, like, aren't you worried about exploiting your children? They go, no, I'm not exploiting him for the views. I'm not exploiting him for the money. I'm like, okay, then stop putting him on the damn channel. Well, people want to know. I don't care what they want to know. Nobody should do this. So that's the long version to answer to your question. But thank you. Yeah, he's 100% real. Next one. Whatever happened to him? Is he in jail, dead, or someone's bitch? This is in regards to Christopher Watts. Is he in jail? Yes, he's in prison. He is in the Dodge Correction Center in Wisconsin. Is he someone's bitch? Most likely. I mean, look at Christopher Watts. The only person that Christopher Watts is ever going to harm is a child and a defenseless wife. That's it. He's not a fighter. He's a whiny little bitch. And yeah, he's probably someone's bitch behind prison walls right now. Thanks for the question, though. Next one. You said in this video they confirmed the remains are of Decker. That's Travis Decker. State Crime Lab hasn't said that yet. Correct that or I'm out. Goodbye. No, I'm serious. I get a lot of these, every single week. I'm unsubscribing because you didn't correct it. You didn't give me a shout out. You didn't give me this. You didn't do this. You didn't say that. Why is that not covered? I'm unsubscribing. I'm going to tell the internet that how much of a piece of crap you are. I get this a lot. All right. Yes, the Washington State Crime Lab has not 100% confirmed the DNA evidence that is there, that it is of Travis Decker. But the circumstantial evidence is well over 90% that it is Decker. The clothing, the tattoos on their remains of the the flesh that was discovered, everything else, the size of the body, the previous injuries, and to healed bones where he had broken bones before that were healed. All of that it confirms. It just adds up to that entire thing that better than 90% that these remains are of Travis Decker. Has the DNA now? I should put an asterisk right there. Has the State Crime Lab confirmed 100% that the remains are Decker? I don't believe so, but it's well over 90% that these remains are of Travis Decker. So, if you want to leave, go ahead. But I'm just being real. I don't have time to to be held hostage because you don't believe that I didn't tell you or give you enough information or I didn't do something for you. Next. Recently, I said Norway was bracing themselves if Trump doesn't win the Nobel Peace Prize. I couldn't have been more correct. It's very hard to win the Nobel Peace Prize if you turn your military on your citizens. And I will leave it at that. Next. Why didn't you change your content? I enjoy how it was back when you were covering the Watts case. Why did I change my content? I don't think I've changed my content. Maybe the production value got a little bit better. The audio got a little bit better. I mean, I've definitely lost a couple of screws, upstairs over the years. I'm glad you enjoyed my coverage of the Watts case, but I don't think I'm doing anything really that much different than I was back then. So, I mean, I guess I could have just covered the Watts case for the last 10 years. That would have been boring. But still, thank you for watching, and I'm glad you enjoyed the Watts case, and my coverage of it. Thank you. Next. Shouldn't you address the issue why you don't work with Tanner anymore? If you don't address it, I will put it out there myself. I have absolutely no idea who Tanner is. I've never worked with anyone named Tanner. I've worked with several individuals before I ever started my YouTube channel, and none of them, have the first or middle or last name of Tanner. I don't know who Tanner is. So, to you, go ahead and put it out there. I would love to watch it. Drop me a link down below, in the comment section if you're watching this later on, or here in the live stream now. I would love to know who Tanner is and why I haven't addressed it. Next. No lies. Tell the truth. How much do you make off of these Christopher Watts videos with 978,000 in views? I personally don't believe you donate at all. Okay. You don't have to believe it. I've never made a single penny off of any of the coverage of Christopher Watts. Follow-ups back when the case happened. 100% of it goes right to the Lupus Foundation, and it's donated in Shannon's name and in the family's name. But I've never made a penny off it. You can prove otherwise that I've made even a dime off it. Go ahead, do it. I would love to see you do it. But I know the facts myself. Next one. There is no way you know this much about the daily life in prison and jails without being an inmate in several. Tell the truth. Okay. Here's the truth. I have never been in jail other than visiting people. I have never been in jail as an inmate. The last time I got in trouble with the law, I got a going the wrong direction on a one-way street. That was in Colfax, Washington. Yeah, I was in college. I haven't had a speeding ticket in well over 30 years or anything else. How do I know this much? Because I research it. That's what I do. I get a lot of people who think that, though, the opposite. And the last one is, why don't you just rebrand your channel to a name more people can remember that is not 411 now? I don't see any need to. I mean, do you know of another channel that is 411 now? No. I own the copyright and the registered trademark for my logo. I'm not going to spend that money to rebrand it, and I don't think that's the issue of why I don't have the viewership. And it's not just me. Whatever you're doing out there, ladies and gentlemen, just understand that a lot of YouTube channels are seeing the same thing that I am, and it's not just me with the Saturday morning show. A lot of channels are they have their views have gone down because people are they want that 60 seconds of entertainment, that 15-second clip. I call it short attention span theater, and that's where everybody is right now. That's the way, and YouTube is pushing their algorithm towards that and leaving every long form content and live streams behind. Uh, If you ever want to watch a good video on exactly what I'm trying to explain to you, um, there's a YouTube channel out of Canada. It's called Linus Tech Tips, LTT. I know it's probably nerdy, but Linus explains the entire thing a lot better than I could ever do it. And I'll try to remember to put a pin at the bottom of this afterwards to his video of explaining what the hell is really going on and why we are all seeing this issue. So, but that's all the questions. And now for something completely different. Again, there is no fact or fake news this week. There's no reason for it why there isn't any fact or fake news. I just didn't get around to doing it. I was meaning to, but I got busy. Yesterday, instead of doing it, I went and I golfed with my friend Jack. That's not an excuse. Just what I did. Francie, were Travis Decker's remains found at a campsite? Is question that Francie wants to know. No, they were found near an actual campsite. They were found in a very dense, high altitude area in a ravine near the top of a ravine. And from where the location is, he was probably hiding out there because there's a large rocky outcrop that's above the area and then below it. He would have definitely seen anybody coming through there. It took hours for the sheriff once the helicopter came in, dropped them off at one spot. They had to use machetes to bushwhack up to where it was. So he probably had an advantage point while he was there, overlooking the area that they were actually searching. So he would have seen like the night lights and helicopters and people coming and going from over here, and he was up over here at an advantage point. That's at least where his remains are. Was he there the entire time? No. But he was not in an actual campground itself. It wasn't like a KOA or anything like that. Even the camp area where he was at, where he disposed of his daughters, these are very simple, like little spots where you can pull in a camper. Some of them they put crushed rock down on, so it's not just dirt. And when it's a little bit wet, your vehicle doesn't sink in it. But these are gravel roads, in the back country. You can tent camp in some of them, but I wouldn't recommend it. Who won what? Who won what? Short Nice. What were we talking about? The Mariners won last night. They move on to the next round. They're playing the Blue Jays next. But the Seattle Mariners beat Detroit Tigers in the series, so they're moving on. They won. You've heard of him, love the little man. Yeah, he's a darling. I'm scrolling through the comments here, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, golf yesterday between me and my friend Jack. I don't think Jack kept score. He never really does, unless he plays in our golf league. Now Jack is 87 years old. His abilities are still there, and like I told Jack, a long time ago, and as long as he wants to golf, I will be there to golf with him. A lot of the other people in the league like, he's slow, he doesn't have the ability to do it anymore. I'm like, shut up. Yeah, I mean, someday you're going to be in that same position. Wouldn't you want someone to golf with you? It's not like I'm taking pity on him. I mean, I love hanging out with Jack. He's a great guy. So, yeah, I don't think Jack kept score yesterday. I did. I shot 5 over, but that's just me. I don't think he kept score though. Are you going to watch the Donna Alderson sentencing on Monday? To ask Gayla. Not me. No, I have not followed the Donna Alderson any of it. Meant to, but I went down a rabbit hole of we all do that, right? We all go down these rabbit hole, these tangents, and like we start looking at something, and then we next thing you know we're down over here on something completely different when we should have been over here. I do that a lot. Tried to get Jack to go golfing today, but he was too worn out after yesterday. So we'll hopefully next week I'll get more of we'll be able to go golfing again next week, and depends on how he's feeling. I gotta get rid of this damn wind so it stops blowing all this damn pollen everywhere. God, I hate those. I hate those Russian olives. If you live anywhere, you would not want a Russian olive tree anywhere near you. You can't burn the wood. It's got so much pitch, and sap in it. It's a worthless tree. All the branches have these long, like 3-inch, spikes on them, like thorns. Oh, they're just awful trees. But unfortunately, though, for everyone, crows love to eat it's not an olive, but they're like little buds on them. They eat them, and then they crap them out all over the place. So they pop up and they grow everywhere, at least in my area. They're 20 miles outside of town with no water for some reason. There's a whole bunch of them because the crows, ate them and pooped them all out. They're the only bird that we know of, in our area that will eat them. The little berry things that they come from them. I think they're the only ones that can stomach them. Crows, ravens, whatever. Blackbirds. Well, I wonder if the U.S. government has real evidence of visitors from outer space. What do you think? Well, they had Senate hearings on it, and they released information about, what do they call them? UAPs or something like that now, unidentified objects. Do they have, an area, down in area 51 or 13 or 14 or whatever freaking number you want to throw after? Do they have evidence of crashed alien ships? Is Bob Lazar, is his experience and what he talked about, is it real? I don't know. I'm not. I watch it. It's interesting. I try to try to follow along with it. But I don't know. I guess I'm more skeptical. I have a more of a scientific mind. Does the U.S. government have evidence of it, of aliens from another planet? I don't think that we're the only ones out there. But at the same time, I know if there are people in another solar system, or hell, it could be in our own solar system. We don't know about all of our solar system. Does the U.S. government have information about it? I mean, look how much information they have about everything else. The JFK assassination, Martin Luther King's assassination, MK Ultra. And how they decided to combat, the hippie movement, and destroy it, with the use of drugs and counter information. I mean, I guess anything's possible. I guess in a long way, to get to it. But I'm sure the government knows a lot more than they're telling us. Let's see. Super Chat Cat. Good morning. Gayla asks, does your wife golf? That would be a no. A big fat no. No, she likes to drive my golf cart. She likes to do that. But no, she doesn't golf. She has no interest in golfing at all. My wife she doesn't play any sports at all. I mean, when she was younger, she played soccer, but not now. Between school, work, and raising, our children, and what little free time she has, she doesn't put any of it into golfing or any kind of sport at all. My wife is back in college, working on her doctorate in psychology. So kudos to her. She's got, I think, another year and a half, 2 years. And the program she's in now. I mean, she's not a year and a half, 2 years till she gets her doctorate. She's got a year and a half or 2 years in the program she's in, and then she gets to move on to the next step. There's a lot of steps after getting your master's and stuff to working towards your doctorate. But she's back in school, which is a great thing, and this goes for everyone out there. If you have children, especially if you have daughters, out there, the best thing that you can do, and it's been proven time and time again, the best thing you can do to show them, and encourage them to move forward in their life is to empower and do something for yourself. Going back to school shows them that and puts an emphasis on that, education is important, and so on. But eventually, I'm going to be the moron married to the doctor. Good morning, Kathleen. Thanksgiving weekend in Canada, is it, Super Chat Cat? Well, happy Thanksgiving. Also, a big happy birthday to Gemma. Is Gemma here yet? Happy birthday to Gemma. And again, if you haven't already checked out her YouTube channel, I would really appreciate if you'd go over to Gemma's YouTube channel and check it out. And good morning, Kitty Q. And no, there is, again, for anyone who's just recently jumped into the live stream, there is no fact or fake news this week. I just simply didn't get around to doing it. There is no excuse. I had, even after going golfing with my friend Jack, I still had time. I could have done it, but I didn't. I just didn't get around to it. My bad. You think she's out partying? You think Gemma could be out partying right now, Gayla? Could be. Let's see, what time would it be? It would be in the evening right now in the UK. So I think she said in her live stream yesterday she had plans to do something for her birthday. Maybe it was spending it with her, time with her family. I don't fault her for that. I'd rather do that than be here, on my birthday. Don't take that the wrong way. I want to be here. I love doing this. Will, are you ready for Halloween? Asks Francie. No, yes, same time. My son won't get his Halloween costume until the 15th. So today is the 11th. So in 4 days he'll get his. No. It's the 15th. Is that Thursday? Whatever that Saturday is, he'll get it next weekend. And he's going to the BFDI, which is the Battle for Dream Island. It's a comic book, an anime thing that he really loves. But he'll get his costume then. He's going to I wouldn't call it a convention. That he does go to the convention. He goes to the BFDI convention every year in Seattle. But he's going. It's like a meetup thing where they're doing a preview of their newest episode, along with the new character, and then he gets a plushie when he goes. So we try to keep him as active, and things like that as possible. So. But for Halloween, though, I've got some of my decorations, and I've already bought a bunch of candy. It's all out here in the extra refrigerator. I still have to buy more. We got a lot of kids who live in my neighborhood. It seems like over the years as we've gone on, a lot of the older families who were where they had their children were already raised, who lived in the area, have kind of moved out over the years, and now we've got a lot of younger families who've moved into our development, in our area. So I would say in the last like 7 years at least, more than doubled the amount of children who just live on this street that I'm on. So got to get a lot of candy because they come by every year. It usually starts at about dusk. The little kids come out and trick or treating around dusk, and then the older kids, teenagers, they'll come till 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night sometimes. I ain't gonna stand there and give out candy that late. I'm old. 8 o'clock. I just want to sit and read, a good book. Love to sit in my. I have a lazy boy recliner. It's got a massage in it. Oh God, the thing is so nice. I just sit in that, read a book. But my daughter will probably come by in later parts of the day and hand out candy. But I'm kind of, ready for it, but at the same time, also not 100%. Over here, you can't see it, but that's a tripod, that black thing right there. But over on the wall, that's farther that way, I've got like headstones. There's like 4 of them. They say "Rest in peace." I'm still among you. They're they're foam like headboards, and I put those out as part of my Halloween display. We decorate for Halloween a few days ago, inside and out. I live in an HOA, Gala. There are restrictions on how when we can put decorations on the house and what we can put in the yard. We're not allowed to, like those 12-foot skeletons, or inflatables. There's restrictions on what we can put out. I mean, I know a lot. I know HOAs get a bad rap, but the HOA board that we have here is pretty lax. That I mean, they do tell you, you can't paint your house certain colors. Your yard must be upkept, but it's not like I get a choice. We have a service we pay for that comes and mows the front yard and our side yard. So I have to take care of the backyard, which is mainly all just raised garden beds. But I like our HOA. I know HOAs are, there are bad ones out there, but that they would hate this, when I'm in here. They don't know about this studio at all. And if they knew about it, they would have, let's just say that they wouldn't be happy with me. We built this entire thing off site at my friend's house in sections and then brought it here in the bed of his pickup truck. Because I have 2 garages. I have this one that it's 2 cars wide by 2 cars deep. So it's like a really long stretched out garage. And I still have a shop on the other end of it, workshop. And then I have another garage that's on the other end of the property because we live on a corner. So I have a garage on this side and I've got a garage on this side by the front of the house. But yeah, we built this studio and we didn't do it with the approval of the HOA. They have no idea this is here. We soundproofed it and wired it and everything else. But the whole thing can be taken apart. It'd probably take about 3 hours, but you could probably take it all apart pretty easy. But we'll put up back to your question, Gala. We'll decorate, get most of the stuff up probably the week of Halloween. That week. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to wrap up this morning's Blunders, Balderdash, and viewer questions. If you have a question, put it in the comment section down below if you're watching this afterwards. I'll try to answer it. I can't guarantee I'm going to. Trust me, I get a lot of really bizarre questions and comments every week. And I'm just touching the tip of the iceberg with doing these 12 to 15 each weekend. And I'm trying to put them in different categories. Like today, mainly all questions about me and my family, and then next one it could be mean comments and mean questions. I don't know. I never know where it's going to go, but I'm trying to sort them out in the different piles. And yeah, I know, I understand a lot of people, and I've seen the comments also. Hey, I've never seen that comment. Where did that come from? Again, these come from Facebook, YouTube, X. I don't have I don't use TikTok, so and I probably never will. Just like I won't use Instagram, although I have Instagram. It's not the place for me. I don't feel like that. Why go on another place like that? Just keep it here. Do this. But everyone, thank you again. This is Rykart here. Good morning, Rykart. Chat GPT. Yeah, Rykart, you stay safe out there on the roads of America, man. People losing their damn minds. And Short and Nice, you have a great week and stay safe out there, and everyone else as well. Thank you again. Again, tomorrow night's trivia. Tomorrow night, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 5 o'clock Mountain, 6 o'clock Central, 7 o'clock Eastern Time, 12 midnight if you're in the UK tomorrow. Again, I hope to see you then for trivia. If not, you have a wonderful week. And thank you again. Bye.